Welcome to the Internal Processing Center, your connection to direct Visa MasterCard processing. Are you having trouble understanding your merchant statement or confused about the rates and fees and how you are charged? There are a lot of merchants who are very confused with their bill and what comes in their bill. They're also confused by how their terminal works or even the percentage and the cost that they are paying for their credit card processing. There's a lot to the merchant account stuff, so we're going to talk about a couple things. The first thing we're going to talk about is the transaction cycle and how it works, and another is the role of the interchange. So let's talk about what happens when a customer comes into your place of business. You swipe their card and a signal goes out to the processor. The processor then sends it to the Visa MasterCard networks. The Visa card networks contacts the card issuing bank. It confirms that there is money in the account and the signal goes back to your terminal. And at that point, it usually would say approved or denied. The card issuing bank then sends the money to the processor. The processor holds onto your money until you batch. When you batch out the terminal, usually at the end of the day, the processor then takes the money that it receives from the card issuing bank and deposits it into your bank account. Then, of course, later on in the month, the card issuing bank then sends a bill to your customer. Now, what you get with the internal processing centers usually get next day funding. That means we don't hold on to the money. Once we get the money from the card issuing bank, it goes straight into your bank account. That right there is an advantage. So let's go ahead and talk about interchange. Interchange, there are so many rates on the Visa MasterCard. Rates that start from 1% all the way to the high 2%. Usually through a merchant service provider, you are paying a lot of money. But interchange is not that difficult. There's a few things that affect interchanges, whether a card is face-to-face or whether it's phone order, and also what kind of type of card it is. If it's a travel card or even if it's a business card. All these rates and all these ways that the card is presented depends on how much you are going to pay. Another factor that's important when it comes down to the rates and whether they go up is depends on who your merchant service provider is. So, for example, Visa MasterCard rates may depend on 1.15, 1.20, but because you have a middleman that adds rates to the interchange, you'll find that your rates increase tremendously. Now, what I'd like to talk to you about is about the two pricing structures. There's a tiered pricing, which usually is called bundled or a bucket pricing, which is usually sent to many merchant service providers as they pass that on to you. And then there's the interchange plus or cost plus or pass-through pricing, which you'll find at the internal processing center. That means everything that the Visa MasterCard charges through its interchange pricing is passed through. Of course, there are dues and assessments through the interchange pricing that's also included in there, but that is passed through. And then there are processor costs to the Visa MasterCard processing services just to process the card. But one thing needs to be understood is that interchange dues and assessments are locked in. They are fixed pricing. You cannot change these. No one can change them. Whether you are Walmart or whether you are Home Depot or whoever it is, the Visa MasterCard interchange rates will always be the same. Or whether or not you're processing $2,000 a year, you will still receive the interchange rate through Visa MasterCard. They are all the same. Well, since we know that the interchange rates are all the same, what makes the big difference? The big difference is here at the processor cost. What are the costs to process credit cards? Many people pay a lot of fees on the credit card processing because the processor charges the processing fees, plus the merchant service provider adds its fees, and you find yourself not only paying interchange fees, but you're paying processor fees and bank or merchant service provider fees on top of that. With Internal Processing Center, you will not have to worry about all the added markups, fees, and all the middleman costs that you are paying now. There are a lot of variables when it comes down to credit card processing. For example, the average size ticket, the number of monthly transactions, in addition to other variables such as what kind of cards are coming through. Are they swiped? Are they Moto accounts, mail order, telephone order? Unfortunately, what happens is a lot of businesses go through a bank or third-party merchant service provider that gives them a one-size-fits-all type of merchant processing pricing. This type of pricing allows the merchant service provider to make a lot of money while charging the businesses fees that they should not be charged. We do not believe in a one-size-fits-all program. When you contact the Internal Processing Center, our agents, who are expert interchange agents, they take a look at your merchant statement and are able to figure out how you are processing and what is the best plan for you. We custom tailor the plan so that you are not paying all the extra fees, markups, and plans that you are paying now. So why wait any longer? Allow the Internal Processing Center to show you how we can start saving you money. We have some of the lowest processing rates and services available for you. We also offer free, totally free advertising through the largest platforms in the US. We also offer rebates to all our merchant processing. That means get money back from the processing fees that you paid. That money will go into your pocket and not into a merchant service provider's pocket. Plus, we are AAA rated under the BBB. We have a 99.9999% boasting customer service rate, and that is something to boast about. We have 24 hours, 7 days a week, real-time reporting and real-time customer service, something that gives you a peace of mind. So check us out, the Internal Processing Center. Give us a call. We are here to serve you. Thank you and have a good day.